Hi, this is Caitlin Leidig, host of Channel 2 Action News, with a weekend angle here to bring you some disturbing news just brought in last night. Apparently, at the prestigious Stanford University, there has been a very unusual experiment occurring under a professor by the name of Philip Zimbardo. Zimbardo has tried creating a dramatic simulation of prison life to determine the effects of role-playing, labeling, and social expectations. This experiment has taken a wrong turn as certain ethical violations are now in question. I'm giving you Autumn Workman, our investigative reporter, to see more details on this case.
Thanks, Caitlin. So here we are at Stanford University, where Zimbardo has created mock prison cells out of several laboratories. Right now, we are walking through a corridor, which supposedly is the only place that the participants have been able to spend time outdoors. The simulation is planned for only 2 weeks, but so far, it doesn't look like the experiment will make it there. We will now interview an ex-prison chaplain who has asked for privacy and was invited to evaluate how realistic our prison really was.
After seeing the conditions here and how the prisoners were treated, I noticed that many of them were under total conviction that they could not leave. I offered to contact parents and get legal aid if they wanted, but only some agreed. Others said that the likelihood of unappeal was too low for them. When I asked for their names, they told me their ID numbers. This isn't a simulation. It's a real prison.
And now we have a concerned mother who says actually a prisoner here at Stanford University.
I don't understand any of this. I went to the superintendent to ask for better conditions for my son, but he had nothing to say to me. When I told the professor that my son did not look well and he wasn't sleeping, he asked me what was wrong with my son. To see my son, I had to wait half an hour to discuss my son's case with the professor. This is outrageous, and that's my son's in a real prison.
And why can't you just simply get him out?
I don't know, but I'm going to the warden so I can get a lawyer and get my son out of prison.
And here we are, back with many questions. How did these participants get recruited in the first place? What have they gone through? And what laws should be protecting these men? Here we are with guest speaker Professor Autumn Bottom on the Research Ethics Committee with more details on the case.
Yeah. Well, Caitlin, this case looks a lot like the Rosenhan experiment, as it has similarities with psychology and specifically psychiatric diagnosis. So, according to the Experimental Research Subjects Bill of Rights in California, the volunteers have a right to be informed of the purpose of the experiment, be explained of any procedures, drugs, or equipment, be given a disclosure of alternative procedures that might be better, any benefits to the patient, any physical harms or risks, medical treatment after the research, an opportunity to ask any questions that they have about the experiment, and be told that their consent can be withdrawn at any time and without the intervention of force or fraud. In this case, we can obviously see multiple ethical violations involving consent and the lack of information that the participants received in this experiment. An ad in the Palo Alto newspaper called for young men wanting to earn $15 a day to join their experiment. More than 70 men applied, yet only 24 were picked after mere personality tests and interviews. While there is a chance they might have been told of psychological and physical harm, we have no idea what these men have truly gone through. Back to you, Caitlin.
Actually, we might, as we've just heard word from Autumn Workman that the warden, aka Professor Zimbardo, has just allowed us to do a brief interview with one of the inmates. Here's the take.
I answered the ad thinking it'd be a good side hustle, but I had no idea what I was getting into. It was just last Sunday I was having a regular day until all of a sudden the police car came up and the policeman arrested me for armed robbery right in front of my girlfriend. They held us in the Palo Alto Police Department, and at a flip of a coin, half of us turned into guards and the other half were prisoners. Us prisoners were transferred to the prison. I don't really know where. It was hard to tell where we went because we were blindfolded until we met the warden. But I do know they stripped us down and made us cover our hair with lace stocking. We were forced to wear white dresses with no underwear, up until now. And there's no windows here. We're only called by our numbers, our ID numbers. Mine's 8. And they make us wear a chain on our leg at all times. But that's not much compared to the gods. You see, the gods, they're the worst.